Three, two, one. Hey guys, what's going on? Welcome to episode 127 of the KBMOD podcast, special sports ball edition, as the heading here says. Super Bowl Sunday today. The date is February 2nd, 2014. There we go. Got that done. And yeah, how we all feeling after that thrilling Super Sports Ball that we saw?
I was.
I'm a huge fan of football.
Pretty rough. The old Denver Hornets really beating up on the LA Squids there. So
yeah, that's true.
Really, you never expect to see a leg fracture in the fourth quadrant like that, but it happened. So I'm really hoping that that next year will be a better game. But
I think Colorado needs to learn a lesson here. Obviously, when the game first starts, what you really want to do is sink a couple of pucks into the goalposts before the seventh inning stretch, or else it's all downhill.
It's pretty rough at that point.
Really not much recovery from that, yeah.
No.
That's good advice.
Yeah.
Definitely.
I used to be a commentator, so.
What have we all been up to? I guess not watching. Well, I mean, I watched the Super Bowl. In all seriousness, it was actually a really boring game because Seattle just wiped the floor with.
Yeah, there wasn't much to
with
watch.
old Peyton there.
With old Peyton, yeah, unfortunate. But
I watched a couple of the commercials because that's all I ever give a shit about.
There were some okay ones, but
they were pretty shit this year. I gave up anything that ends up being worthwhile will be on the internet in a minute anyway. So
it's true.
It was pretty worthless. I did get to eat some filet mignon that my dad cooked up in celebration of sports ball. So overall, I'd say I came out ahead. Praise sports ball.
That's good. Yeah, we had wings, pizza, the normal stuff. Dan, did you even eat any special foods or what? Did you not?
Did I? I did literally. I did laundry.
Nothing. Oh, okay.
Oh, damn.
So,
Brandon,
I mean,
did you
Did your Super Bowl laundry?
Yeah, man. It's a special laundry day here in the Johnson house.
Yeah. Wow.
I
had some
did
eggs and
laundry
biscuits.
Eggs and biscuits?
Yeah.
Eggs and
Because why
biscuits
not?
are a combo. Great combo.
And I mean, I do finally someone saying the best commercial of the entire Super Bowl, starting with Bob Dylan's epic quote, "What is more American than America?" Fuck.
What is
We'll talk
gayer
about
than
that.
fucking dudes?
We'll talk about that later, I think. But yeah, let's go to what we've been playing. Let's start with you, Blacklight. What have you been doing? I want to know.
Starting off with me. I mean, the WoW is pretty constant, but it has been slowing down. I'm actually getting, I'm already over my initial honeymoon phase of rejoining the game. I'm playing it right now, but only because playing Dark Souls during the podcast is probably just takes too much concentration.
That would be a mistake. Oh, man. Speaking of Dark Souls, Lil Dick Ornstein just subscribed.
Welcome, sir.
A boss mob from Dark Souls has just subscribed to our channel.
With his little dick.
Wow. Well done.
And his cash money, of course. Oh, yeah, I haven't gotten that far to that guy yet. I did play a bunch of Dark Souls when I wasn't playing WoW. Streamed it a couple times. That game has me pretty hard, and Dan has been talking up a storm about it recently. And
Dan has dived
swayed.
into the Dark Souls, man.
Oh yeah,
It's controlling
Dark
Dan's
Souls.
life.
Every
really
tweet.
is.
It's like I wake up and I just go through my tweets to see what Dan tweeted about when he first got up. It's like Dark Souls, gonna Dark Souls stream tonight. Check it out, these. I love it. Dan is fucking in
Yes.
on Dark Souls. So what? So would you say Dan piqued your interest? Is that what you're saying? That it's Dan
was
responsible.
so all about it. I had to give it a shot.
Yeah.
And I am not regretting that whatsoever. It is quite good, quite a fun game. It's hard. It's hard as fuck, which is what everybody says about it. And of course, it's hard. It's pretty obvious. But I'm enjoying the challenge because I feel like with just not even a small amount, but like an adequate amount of effort, a combination of effort, strategizing, and a little bit of research when it becomes necessary, I can progress in just sizable enough chunks that I want to keep going.
Yeah.
If I was progressing too much too easily, it would be boring. Mm-hmm. And if I was progressing too little based on the amount of effort I've been putting into it, then it would be frustrating. But it just hits that right where it's challenging, but not so challenging that it's discouraging. and I find that really impressive because it's
What's
pretty
the
easy
rule
to
on
just
like? Sorry,
from
to
any
cut
video
you
game
off.
for any number of reasons. Sorry, go ahead.
No, what's the rule on like looking shit up or?
So
Because
It depends on how you
you
want
were
to play.
saying the inventory system is really not
it's
descriptive.
fucked.
It's terrible.
So how do you know without
user
trial and error?
The user interface is horrible. The amount of info that it gives you on items and how they work is just horrendous. Absolutely terrible.
Okay.
It's
Yeah, from what I've seen from the streams.
You'll sit there and read item descriptions and have absolutely no idea what it does. If you haven't, gotten to that point in the game, it'd be like, well, it cures bleeding, and like I've never even bled once in this game. I get hit, and then that's it. Like what is some? The Great American Challenge is just subscribed.
God damn it!
I was wondering
Oh
if they
my
left that over
I'll
there.
have that one.
That is amazing.
Jesus.
Holy shit.
Well,
But yeah, I don't know. It's hard to explain just how bad the information given is. So I feel like you pretty much need to look certain things up. It's one thing to like look up a boss strategy if you're stuck. It's one thing to look up a boss strategy before you even do the fight. That's kind of lame. I wouldn't recommend that. Like, go in there, get your ass kicked, and if you get stuck, then look it up. But it's another to like get an item it's one of those games where people keep saying things in chat that like know the game really well, and they're like, oh no, don't use that item yet, don't use that item yet. Like, why aren't you using that fucking item? And I'm sitting there like, I have people saying like both things about the same item sometimes. Like today, people were arguing over whether or not I should give the fucking divine ember to the first blacksmith in the game. Like
you should.
And when I say that, people who haven't played Dark Souls are sitting there going, "What the fuck are you talking about?" I don't. You know as much as I do about this. Do you give the divine ember to the first blacksmith? Apparently yes. Like
watching your first stream. Sorry, but watching your first stream on that was just awesome for me because it was pretty much a mirror of my first stream with it. It was just like, I'm gonna die in real dumb ways that will not appear dumb until later on when I have learned how to play a little bit more. But like, you can also get killed by the beginning mobs. I'm 70 hours in. Like you can get
mobs in the game.
Yeah, you can get pretty destroyed. But it was so fun to watch. You play Taurus Demon for the first time and stuff.
Oh god, yeah. Taurus Demon. That was actually the second time I'd fought him, but the first time I fought him, it took me literally like 12 or 13 tries to kill him. And in fact, that was when I did 60-second Let's Play. I did a 60-second Let's Play of this game, and that was the first time I played. It was when I did the recording the footage for that video. And that by the time I was done recording the video, I honestly gave up on the first boss because I was like, you know what? It's like 6 a.m. I haven't even started editing this shit yet, and this video needs to be out tomorrow. I'm just like, I ended it on a joke of me looking up a YouTube video of somebody beating the boss and being like, look, that's me. And it's like, obviously, like you saw the YouTube window and stuff. Like that was the joke. And I finished the video, I uploaded the video, and then I sat there and I buckled down and I fought him another 10 or 12 times until I finally beat him. And now the second time around, I seem to be having a much easier time with these fights. Things like what Capra Demon, I think his name is, that I just said I beat him in one
destroyed
shot.
him. Yeah.
Yeah, sorry, 2 shots. I beat him in 2 shots.
That took me 15 attempts. Capra.
Yeah, that's like what kind of weapon were you using at that point?
I
like your default
sword? No, I had Drake Sword at that point, but I just could not figure out I'm very bad at avoiding damage when I first started, like super bad at it. Because I always think that he's going to hit so hard. So the way the game works, for those who don't know, when you get hit, if you are blocking, you have a stamina bar, and the harder you get hit, the more of that stamina bar goes away, and if it all goes away, your guard is broken, so like you stagger back a little, and at that point, you're completely vulnerable for a second or two.
Which is enough.
I could not get past this guy at the door. You fight him in this tiny, tiny room, and he hits like a truck. So the first time you come in there, all the other bosses you can kind of use the room that they're in because there's a good chunk of space. With him, the whole challenge is getting past him the first time without getting shit on, and then the fight actually starts after you. It's
actually fairly easy if you can get past him. The hard part is getting past him in the first place. I didn't seem to have too much of a problem with that. And what freaked me out was like there's a note sitting outside his door, and like people were watching the stream. This was like not even an hour ago. People watching the stream will back me up on this. There's a note outside the door that says "try fall jumping" or whatever it's called, like the when
plunge,
try plunge stabbing or whatever the fuck. And that's when you drop off of a height long enough to have a few seconds of free fall, and you hit the attack button. You do like sort of a Link's sword drop from Zelda kind of thing. And it deals a shitload of damage, and it's pretty much free damage, so I don't think any enemies really have any way of guarding against it. So I was like, okay, well, it's probably going to start me up on a balcony like the first boss, right? And I knew that this was a relatively early boss that I sort of skipped and got geared up before I'm going back to fight him. So I was assuming that I was going to be up on like a balcony or something. The second I opened the door into his room, he just charges you, and you're in this tiny, like you said, tiny little room. And I was just like, oh god! Like honestly, like fucking people like PewDiePie playing horror games, and like even Scott playing horror games. That's me in Dark Souls, and it's not a horror game. It's a creepy game. It's an unsettling game, but it's not a horror game, and I freak out, and it's completely genuine. Like it's fun. I actually like it because the game, and it's it's fun. It's scary because you don't want to go back. You're like, I have my humanity up, or like I have all these souls. I don't want to go back. I'm so far from a bonfire. Like that's what scares me about it, is because the threat of dying is so real. Like you can die all the time. And it makes you nervous. It's a brilliant game. Really, really amazing game. I cannot wait for Dark Souls 2, but I really want to dig my teeth into this a little bit more. I wish I had more time, because Dark Souls 2 is out in only like a month.
Yeah, well, we hope.
So we hope it could get set back, and that would be advantageous for me. But I hope for the sake of everybody who's played this game to death, then I hope that it comes out when it's supposed to come out.
For those that don't know, Giant Bomb got to Brad Shoemaker and Vinny Caravella went to some Dark Souls 2 thing that was put on by From Software, and they got to play the game for like a couple hours, and then they kept asking them over and over, because those guys also would prefer the PC version over a 360 or PS3 version. It's not on next-gen consoles. So they want the PC version, and these guys like would not answer. And Brad Shoemaker said that basically the vibe that he got from them was like, From had said that Dark Souls 2 would be out the same month, so like by the end of March, as the console versions. He thinks it won't be for 2 or 3 months afterwards. Yeah. He has no, like, they didn't say that to him, but the vibe that he got from the people he was talking to was basically like, Dark Souls 2 for PC, like, we're gonna make it right, is the vibe he got. Like, we're doing everything for it, and it's gonna take us more time. Like,
which is fine if it means a better experience than what it is on PC now. As amazing as that game is, the port quality is
fucking garbage.
Yeah. It is horrendous. Games for Windows Live is all you need to know first of all, but there's more beyond that as to why it's complete shit. My favorite part is using a controller, but all of your keyboard and mouse controls are still enabled. So when I'll go to like click outside of if I don't Alt Tab first and I go to like I'm streaming and I go to like reach over and like I don't know, like time out somebody in chat or something, or like go to type something in chat, it swings my camera wildly and like gives me motion sickness just because I'm moving my mouse over to my other monitor, like because I don't expect it to move. It's fucking horrible. There might be a way to disable that in the options. I haven't really looked, but something that should just like happen automatically. But other than that, just played some Hearthstone. So that was me for this week.
Stone. All right, cool. Brandon, hit me.
I mean, really just Hearthstone and League of Legends ARAMs as normal. I've been playing a bunch of Hearthstone. It's
what rank are you?
Well, they just reset the ladder.
Oh yeah, they did just reset
yesterday
right.
or the day
I was
before.
Even talk about that.
Yeah,
it's monthly, I believe.
Yeah, so they reset the ladder, but before they reset, I think I was like 15. But I didn't play a whole lot of ranked. I've started playing more arena just because that's where you get the awards and or the rewards. So I've been playing more of that in hopes of like getting more cards and getting more legendaries. So I've just been playing a lot of Hearthstone. I really enjoy it. It's taking all of my willpower not to drop more money into that game.
What deck are you mainly playing?
I actually have like a few different decks that I like. I made a Paladin deck.
I was trying to make a Paladin deck today. Couldn't put anything.
Yeah, there's some like I have a good Paladin deck. I have a good like combo Rogue deck, a good aggro Warrior deck. So I don't know. There's a lot of variation. Like I think it probably gets a bit stale at the top ranks because once you have access to all the cards, it comes down to like some really cheesy decks at the top end. But in like the early ranked and maybe mid ranked play, there's a lot of viable kinds of decks, and not everyone is stacked with legendaries where it makes it not fun. Mm-hmm. So I've been liking mixing it up with ranked, and then obviously arena. you just get paired up with someone who has the same number of wins as you. So that's been fun, just because you don't have those crazy overpowered decks.
Right.
So I've been getting better at it, and like I understand the game's meta a lot better after having played a lot the past couple weeks.
Nice.
So that's been good.
Okay. That's you, John. What have you been up to?
Lots of
WoW.
CS:GO and still
Oh,
WoW.
okay.
Yeah, not as much WoW this week. A lot more CS:GO, but I mix it up a little bit here. I played a little bit of Hearthstone. I'm going to just spend like maybe $1,200 on it, just so I can win, and then like I don't actually have to play. So
Jesus Christ.
Hearthstone's going to be a game that, like, for me, I'm just going to want to have all the best cards, even if I don't play it. Like, I want to have them so I could tell people that I have things they don't have. That's the problem with free-to-play games, and it's just terrifying.
Skins and whatnot, yeah. Hats.
Yeah, to have things you don't have. That's the purpose of this game.
See, the trap in Hearthstone is that they have the golden cards, which mean nothing, but it's that, like, the fact that you have it and
They're
someone else
animated
doesn't.
though.
They're animated and they look cool.
Yeah.
But like if you actually just care about playing the game, you should disenchant those because they're worth more than regular cards in crafting dust. So like I've been disenchanting all of mine because I'm concerned more about value. But it's very easy to be like, oh, that card looks cool, I should just keep that. And then all of a sudden you're trying to get all the golden cards and you don't have any money left.
I have upmarket rats
It's like
throwing out some
chasing
facts
the dragon, man.
in the chat.
You never catch him.
$500 to own all the cards, roughly, and then $1,300 if you wanted all gold everything.
Jesus.
Jeez.
I have a golden
Easy.
Scenarius. That's probably my most, I guess, rare card. I pulled
That's
that out of the
that's
pack.
super rare. Yeah, golden
Yeah.
legendaries are real rare.
So I'm pretty much the best player ever.
It's true.
That's what you can deduct from that.
That's true.
Yeah. Okay.
Think about it.
What about you, Dan?
Lots of Dark Souls.
Yep.
I currently have 3 saves going at once on that game. Kind of like Blacklight and Final Fantasy VII. Like, I have
Can't judge.
just kind of like WoW. I mean, I've compared that game to WoW rating because that's really what I feel like it is. Except you're a one dude versus the entire raid content. I have a save that I've been playing on stream mostly, which is my first character, which is a mess compared to the other two. But it's kind of crazy because that one has like 36 hours in it, and then but I've killed the first Lord Soul boss, Seath the Scaleless. I killed him Friday on stream. That boss is fucking intense. By the way, getting cursed in that game is worse than anything in the world. Anything. There's no worse thing in any game than getting cursed in friggin' Dark Souls. So it halves your health permanently until you remove the curse.
Jesus.
Through death, through everything. People play as cursed characters just for challenge on streams.
God.
So I got to see if you stand in front of him too long, he does a spell, and then he also eventually just curses you. I had no idea that would happen. So we had to stop attempting that boss after like 2 attempts and take like an hour to farm all these souls so I could absolve this one merchant that I accidentally hit. This is how this game goes.
Jesus Christ.
So I accidentally hit this merchant off pure reaction because I thought it was a mob attacking me. So once you hit an NPC, they're hostile to you forever and ever. Unless you go to the dude who's in the bell tower by the gargoyles and you pay like 30,000 plus souls to, which is a good amount. And you have to go to him and then absolve your sins with him. He's a creepy priest, by the way, and he is super creepy. So I had to do that just to buy purging stones, which are the things that get rid of curses. And then we went and killed Seath eventually, but that boss is fucking... but so I actually only need to kill 3 more bosses, I think, in the whole game, if I want to beat the game in that save. But I have a second save going, which is at a nearly the same spot with half the time played. So that tells you how much easier it gets when you know what's coming. in that game. And then I have a third save going, which is like a tank character, because tank characters are a lot different playstyle than most, because you can't move, really, because you're just wearing extremely heavy armor. Because dodging is really the easiest way to play that game, in my opinion. Like, playing it naked is easier than playing it with armor, because you can move so fast. But that character is nearing Anor Londo, which took me 20-some hours to get to in my first save, in like 3 hours. So, I mean, it's like, once you know to do, like...
So that's why there's all these people that do speedrun the game. Like, eventually it's not hard anymore, is what you're saying.
Yeah,
with enough practice, yeah.
The thing about speedrunners, though, is if you watch speedrunners, they will die to really easy shit all the time, because you can get put in a bad position anywhere in the game. So, like, I watch Elajaz all the time, and he does all bosses speedruns, which is like an hour and 20 minutes or something for the... all bosses, all 26 in an hour and 20 minutes. Kind of insane. But, but I've watched him die to Taurus Demon before. Like, just because...
First boss.
If shit goes wrong, it goes wrong in that game. It's not like... things snowball very quickly in Dark Souls. Like, and that's why you're so cautious the first time. But I also played a good chunk of BF4 this week.
Oh, back to
I actually
your
played some of that the other night, too. Now that I think about it.
We'll talk...
love.
Well, we'll just talk about this now, because, I mean, it's in the news, but I'm just going to talk about it now, since I went and tested it out today a little bit. So, AMD finally, after like a month and a half or 2 months of delays, came out with their Mantle update, their graphics API, and Battlefield 4 is supposed to be like the big showcase title for this thing. So the update hit Friday, but you couldn't get the drivers that actually work with Mantle until today.
That sounds about right.
They didn't have it out until today. From what I saw, now I have a quad core with hyperthreading. What Mantle is supposed to do, it doesn't matter for people like me, who have a very good video card and processor. Like, it's not meant to help a lot. It's like under 10% performance gain for my sort of setup. But let's say you have an i3, or you have a AMD that's really really not low end, but like, you know, a dual core or a quad core AMD without hyperthreading, you will seriously see a 40 to 50% increase in performance. Like, it's pretty crazy. It's meant to make games like Battlefield, which also depend on CPU a lot, run on a lot quote unquote worse machines, because the graphics card only matters so much in that game. So pretty impressive for that stuff. But on my rig, it was very hard to tell whether it made any difference or not. But
Did you try at 1440p and you felt the same?
I didn't try at 1440p because that monitor's on my stream machine at the moment. But yeah, like a 3570K would even be helped by it more than it would help a hyper-threaded CPU. It's just stuff that's not not going to handle everything Battlefield was throwing at it. And games will be made with this built in from here on out. A lot of games, not all, but so I didn't see much of a difference. I do think that the Battlefield patch, along with these drivers, I think has really smoothed out some performance things. Not that I was ever seeing huge drops or anything like that, but there was some hitching now and then and that kind of thing. And every server I got onto between Friday and today didn't have any rubber banding anymore, which was a massive issue since the last patch, like to the point where I didn't even want to play the game. So, but that game is real good still. It just is. Battlefield 4 is just a damn good shooter. And every time I hop on it now, I have a lot of fun with it still. So I just want better DLC. I don't like China Rising very much.
Yeah, the maps are just ass right now. And the only one of the stock maps that I really still enjoy is like Zavad 311 or whatever.
That's because that one is the best designed. Like, having that point with 2 points in it, essentially, those C and Ds right next to each other, like, they need more of that. I want all 60 people going after these 2 points at once, because that's when Battlefield shines, is when it's just completely nuts. But I also played a bit of Hearthstone and a bit of Isaac. Played Isaac on stream this morning. But Hearthstone, I've been running rampant with the pre-stack that I have in the early rank stuff. There are some dumb people since open beta. Holy shit! Like,
are you using that pre-stack, like kind of like that pre-stack I sent you?
Yeah, I've tweaked it because I had better cards than the deck.
Yeah,
like
that one's so good.
But like, I had this dude today who had a Synwyn out, which is a 3/5, and then 3 1/1s, that Imp Master or whatever, that loses a health and spawns an imp.
Mm-hmm.
So he had 3 imps and the Imp Master out. I had a Northshire Cleric, and a 2/4, and then a 1/1 out. This dude hit my 2/4 with the Synwyn, so it still had a health left, and then he took the imp, killed the 1/1, killed what was left of the 2/4, and then dinked my Northshire for 1. I was like, you could have outright killed everything on the board, but instead, but there was a lot of people like that today, like, no idea what they were doing at all. Very new to open beta, I think.
Yeah, I think you see a lot of people like that, and I think you definitely see a lot of those kinds of people at like 0 and 1 arena wins, because I don't think there's any logic in it except for how many wins you have, and like people have smited me to the face, and just really dumb stuff like turn 1, turn 2 stuff that if you've played at all you would never do.
Yeah.
It's like, all right, thanks for the free win.
I also just quit on a Warlock Murloc deck at turn 4 because I hadn't pulled any creatures that could deal or anything that could deal with it, so I just conceded. Like, I'm not even gonna finish this out. There's no point.
I just lost to possibly the worst Warlock aggro deck I've ever seen, and it was because I'm playing Priest because I have 3 quests right now to do things with Priest, and not a single Holy Nova the whole time. Would have been completely cleared his board the entire game.
Fuck Murlocs. That's all I got.
Fuck RNG.
Yep, it was basically completely RNG. I waited 4 or 5 turns in that game because I was like, I'll draw something. Something has to draw. Nope, nothing drew, and so I was just like, yep, bye.
Well, those Murloc decks are such gambles, though, because if you don't win in the first 5 turns, it's over for them.
Yeah.
And if they do pull their Holy Nova, you don't win. So
yeah. Scott?
I mean, just League of Legends, really. Lots of League. And I also finally got
a couple of your games. I was
just
like, I was like, let me watch these.
Really? That was random.
Yeah.
Okay. Cool.
That's crazy.
You looked fantastic.
Oh, thanks, man. I did get my computer. So obviously, as you guys know, last week we had a little bit of a water incident where my motherboard and CPU got fried due to some leakage from one of my friends spilling a beverage.
Some leakage.
Yeah. Well, I don't know if it was beer or ice or a mix of both, but it was all over there. So I had to. I needed to upgrade anyway. A lot of people know that. So. Anyway, I ended up getting, I was just going to go over the specs real quick here because people have been asking about it. So I ended up getting an i5 4670 for my processor at 3.4. I don't have it overclocked or anything. It's just stock, but
quite good.
What else did I get? I got the MSI Z87 gaming motherboard from MSI. I don't know. It seems okay. Pretty solid so far. Picked up another SSD, Samsung SSD hard drive that was on sale at Fry's to boot off of, and I still have like a terabyte internal and also a bunch of externals. What else did I get? I'm trying to think. Oh, and then my video card, which is not really it's definitely an upgrade for me because you fuckers know what I was running before. So I now have a 6970 in here.
Still a very solid card. Yep.
So it's good. I mean, and I'm in 1080p. I got both 2 1080p monitors right now. I mean, I can't lie.
Linus, going hard.
Yeah. I went so hard. Like I feel
Linus.
like a new person. He was right. I'm like, holy shit, how was I gaming on 1440 by 900? What a joke. So And I also tested
everyone
out.
else was saying that too, Scott.
I know. I had to see it I was doubting Thomas, man. I have to see it for myself. The other thing is that my internet during afternoon hours seems to be better because I've been calling Time Warner up a ton and they've been like, I think it's fixed in your area, which is a fucking lie. They have no idea what's going on. But I tested it out and it was like solid, and also streaming my frames and everything have been real solid in League, and I tested a couple other things yesterday. So hopefully I can stream in the afternoons now regularly. So we'll see what happens.
Time Warner knows that you got a new PC, so they've decided to they've unthrottled you because you've unthrottled yourself.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, they'll give me a little time in the sun, and then they'll fucking jerk it away from me. Those fuckers. But yeah, that's what I've been up to. So
nice.
So you're pleased. You're pleased. 60 hertz monitor upgrade. You're fucking pleased.
I know. It's 60 hertz. I'm like, oh my god.
All right. Well,
I need to get 120, but
we're gonna take a 2-minute commercial break, and there's actually a good chunk of news for the first time in this calendar year, really.
Yeah.
So we're gonna talk about that. And we'll be back in a couple minutes, guys. And we're showing.
Did you see the JCPenney tweets?
Yes.
It's like a viral hoax thing. Like, is this going to be a thing now, where marketing departments decide, hey, let's do this thing that we know is going to go viral, and then we'll turn it into a marketing ploy.
What is the JCPenney thing you're talking about?
Oh my god, these tweets are like purposely misspelled, like drunk tweets. Kind of.
Their Twitter account was intended to look like the person who runs it forgot they were on the corporate account and tweeted out drunk tweets, and then that turned into their hashtag tweeting with mittens. After they garner 20,000 retweets on the account, and I'm sure got picked up in the news and everything.
Yep.
God damn it.
It's like, why do 300,000 people follow JCPenney on Twitter?
That's already an issue, absolutely.
Seriously. You know how many people fucking replied to that? Everybody keeps retweeting the Diet Coke. Like, when was the last time somebody complimented you on your Diet Coke? Because people compliment each other on soft drink choices all the fucking time. And, like, people kept retweeting it because it was such a fucking dumb question. But you know how many people fucking responded to that? Like, everyone. Like, it's absurd. Like, these fucking, like, stay-at-home moms, like, who have nothing to do but sit around and tweet at Diet Coke.
Oh, going hard at stay-at-home moms, man.
Jesus Christ, fuck stay-at-home moms. if you're sitting there tweeting to Diet Coke, kill yourself. End your fucking life.
Oh, I forgot one thing I did Saturday. It's a rather big thing.
Beersmas.
Beersmas was Saturday.
Oh, yeah, I did see your tweets on
and
that.
I'm real old. That's all I discovered at
are.
Beersmas. I had like 3 or 4 beers in the morning and then got home at like 2:30 and was like, I gotta fucking go to bed forever. I gotta sleep till Monday at this point.
Can't drink like you used to, Dan.
No. Well, the thing is, I have not drank heavily in a very long time at this point. So
3 to 4 beers is heavy, though? Damn.
Well, these are Beersmas beers, too, so it's more like 8 or 9 beers of normal beers. But there was a case of, for those beer nuts out there, or people who want to taste something that's completely insane. I don't even know if I describe it as good, but Weyerbacher makes a barley wine now called Insanity, and it's aged in oak barrels. It's 12% alcohol, and it tastes like, I mean, it is hard to drink. Like, not that it tastes bad, it is just, it's like drinking liquor. It is crazy.
Not pleasant, actually.
Well, I mean, you'd be pretty well good to go after one of those.
You'd be well met after one of those.
You'd be really well met. All would be well met, you might say.
Oh my god.
Speaking
of
that
video that you linked, Brandon, I've literally watched Eddie Pastorino that I don't know, like 100 times, and every time I laughed the same.
Yes, I have watched it over a dozen times.
Keep drinking that orange juice. This fucking hand motion is sincere.
There's also another one that you should watch. It's not quite as good, but I mean, how could it have been better?
Right. Yeah.
Still pretty good, though.
Well, news.
That's Creparia.
And now to make APL's new rig feel super inferior.
Yes, totally. Let's go over this.
Nvidia is here. This is actually kind of like a couple weeks old now, but I hadn't put it on here. Nvidia's coming out with a Titan Black Edition, and also a GTX 790. So for those who don't know, the X90 cards are always 2 GPUs on one card, so it'll be 2 780s on the same card. Both of these will be over $1,000, or right around there. The Titan one, what's the black edition? I think it's a dual GPU as well. It's 2 Titans, I think. Yes.
I don't think so. I think it's.
Is it?
I think it's still one. I think the Titan's still one.
Holy Christ! 10 gigabytes GDDR5 on this thing.
Well,
You want 4K? You got 4K right there, pretty much. 10 gigabytes of GDDR5. Yeah, I would assume.
These cards are nuts.
how much?
Like, I don't really know who is buying these
Well,
cards.
the Titan is clearly for multi-monitor editing kind
Millionaires.
of rig.
Oh.
Like the Titan is not. It is a gaming card, but it's not for gaming. Quote like, like you would get a 780 or a 780 Ti if you wanted a beastly Nvidia gaming card. I wouldn't get a Titan personally.
I guess.
But 10 gigabytes of RAM. I got a 6 gig card just to like have enough overhead for a 1440p monitor, let alone 10.
Well, that's built for like 3x 1440p.
Yeah.
Like, that's
I guess they're just building cards so that people who really want 4K can start making their way there.
Yeah. I mean, if
It's
you got
just
a lot
kinda
of money,
ridiculous.
go ahead, I guess. I don't see much point in either card, but
1080p still looks sexy enough to me.
yeah, it does look good still. I mean, no one's making textures for fucking no one's making 4K textures in games yet. It's just not there. There's no point. But so that's a thing if you have a lot of money. That is a thing that you can go buy.
Jesus.
But this next piece of news is very interesting, despite the fact that this is old news internally at Valve. Some supposed screenshots of Left 4 Dead 2 running in the Source 2.0 engine, which...
Now, do you know who submitted these screenshots? Who shared them?
Do I know?
Yeah, do you know?
I don't. I do
It's
know
a
they were
NeoGAF
all over
NeoGAF
everything.
user named Seaboat. And that stands for Crazy Buttocks on a Train.
That's pretty sweet.
That was
these-
detailed in this Maximum PC article.
Okay.
That's
For
pretty
Jesus.
sweet.
on a train.
That's pretty... NeoGAF always bringing the hype.
Jesus Christ.
In case you were wondering whether this source was legit.
Well, who knows? Nobody
Leaking
knows.
Apparently it actually is. Like he's
it's
spread
legit.
or he's made
It's
other
legit,
leaks,
but the thing is, we're not going to see a Source 2. In my opinion, what these probably are... When did Portal 2 come out? Do we have a release date on Portal 2?
2004.
That You're wrong.
Yep.
No.
Not even
You're
close.
you're fucking wrong.
1998.
I was like, there's no way Portal 2's been out that long.
1874.
just
right.
after slavery ended.
April 19th, 2011 was Portal 2. And when were these supposedly leaked from? It was like... I think it was 2011. So it's very possible that this is just the Portal 2 source engine, which is, in fact, very different from the one that Half-Life 2 is on. So, I mean, take that with a grain of salt, because that could already be out in the wild. Although this screenshot does look quite good. Like, much better than Left 4 Dead 2 looks.
And Left 4 Dead 2 looks good, mind you.
Yeah.
It looks very good.
Yeah, like the lighting and things on this look way better. So, I mean, we'll see. I doubt we ever hear anything from Valve on any of this stuff, although they, as Dave Oshry said last week, they still insist they're making games, much like Epic, who also insists they're making games.
I wonder if their games have. It feels like if you're making games at Valve right now, there are probably a lot of different / weird priorities. Like let's say you're working on Left 4 Dead 3. Like part of you probably wants to make it a good Steambox game. Part of you wants to make it a good Steam controller game. Part of you wants to make it a good like Windows PC game.
And a good VR game.
Yeah,
and a good VR game. Yeah,
game.
that's what I'm saying. All of like, how do you define success for a game being made by Valve right now if you're internal at Valve? Like, it seems like it's probably really hard for them to make a game because like who are you trying to satisfy? I don't know that you can satisfy everyone.
And I mean, basically, Dave also said last week, and well, they have come out with games recently. Well, actually, Valve didn't develop Counter-Strike Go.
That was Hidden Path.
That was Hidden Path. And did Valve directly do Dota 2?
Yeah.
Okay,
I
so
think
they
so.
did do Dota 2. So that's a pretty big release. But none of their main IPs have had any movement in a while.
See, it doesn't bother me, though, because that's how I know it's going to be good. I don't give a shit.
Well, it took them, 5 years to go from Half-Life 1 to Half-Life 2. So, and they only put out Ricochet between those. And we all know how good Ricochet is. So,
Yeah, incredible. Thanks.
incredible game. So we'll see. We'll see if they do a Source 2.0. I thought Portal 2 was Source 2.0, but
Portal 2 is just them proving to you how much better they are than everybody else at making game engines. They're just like, oh yeah, remember that thing we made 7 years ago? Why don't you look at it?
well, the thing is, go ahead.
Titanfall's that engine still, too. Like, when we see
Heavily
Titanfall,
modded.
Titanfall looks great.
Yeah.
That's still the Source engine, too.
Ricochet
But that's I wonder if we'll ever see Valve or anyone really calling it Source 2.
It'll just be
Like
Source.
I think they've iterated so much on the Source engine that it's like at what point does it go from 1 to 2 and does that even matter? Like Titanfall is not on
Unreal does it.
Yeah.
Like, it seems to be the industry standard. Like, Quake engine was
Valve
the Quake
doesn't-
engine, and then they did whatever they did with
Yeah,
Rage.
but Valve doesn't follow industry standard. They've never named the Source engine different things.
Well, they also
like just
said,
because Titanfall is running on Source, we don't really even know what that means. That just means that it's like some iteration of the Source engine.
Well-
but it's not the same one as Counter-Strike Source.
Well, I'm
Yeah.
assuming.
well, like with Source, all you need to do is look at difference between Half-Life 2 and Half-Life 2 with the cinematic mod on, because the cinematic mod doesn't just put HD textures in there and stuff. What it does is converts every single asset in Half-Life 2 into the Portal 2 Source engine. So it actually changes the file extensions and a lot of things about those files to the point where you can't even use. If you play Half-Life 2, Diction was asking me, he's like, I want to play the cinematic mod. I'm like, you play a lot of Gary's mod, right? Like, that may fuck up everything else you play. If it calls on an asset in that Half-Life 2 folder, like Counter-Strike Source is unplayable if you do the cinematic mod for Half-Life 2. Because
And you're talking like 150 gigs of textures to download too?
Yeah. So I was like, it was a joy to play and everything, but like for you as someone who needs to record often and stuff, like this might not be a good idea because it completely changes that game and every asset in it and the way it works. So there's a huge difference, as you were saying, Brandon. Like the iteration is so different at this point. That Portal 2 engine is nothing like Half-Life 2. So, but we'll see if that's real. And now on to if you like spending money once again, and you really want to pay for early access, but not through early access, EverQuest Next Landmark, which is like the world-building Minecrafty part of EverQuest Next, you can buy into the alpha for $60 right now, if you want to. Now, this is an alpha, keep in mind, so who knows how that will run. I wish this was an early access thing instead of alpha. I feel like I wouldn't do this, but I might do it if it was early access. I don't know why. I just feel like that phrasing would change my mind somewhat. But so if you want in on that, you can head over to Sony and buy into the alpha of that game. So
I don't know how I feel about the continued use of like paying for alpha access.
No.
I mean,
Not a fan.
most of
Beta
the
I'm okay with, but an
Yeah.
alpha is just like
here's the other thing about
I'm not okay with it when it's a game like this.
that
Like
has a massive
you
budget.
need to be testing this stuff on a massive scale, and you can't do that with the small fraction of a percent of people who are going to pay that kind of money to get access to it. Like even this $20 pack gets you beta access. But it's like, you know who needs beta access? Every single person you can get in your game and stress the hell out of it.
Yeah.
Amen, Brandon.
By the
Amen.
way, Dirk's saying apparently you can get a refund if it sucks. CEO of SOE has put that down. But regardless.
Oh, that makes it all better.
Yeah, not really.
Because I want to have to call support and haggle with them to get a refund on this thing I didn't like.
The thing about the early access games on Steam is like a game like Rust is being made by a very small team, and even though you may not like the concept of early access, they essentially need that to keep going with development on it and to make the game better. Like legitimately, they need it. Whereas Sony has a crap load of money, and obviously EverQuest Next's next budget is probably enormous. You don't necessarily need to be charging that.
Well, here I think the difference in terminology matters a lot. Saying something is early access to me, like something like DayZ or Rust, saying it's early access implies that like normally we wouldn't have even released this, but if you really want to pay money to play this unfinished game, go for it.
Yeah.
Whereas alpha access implies to me that you want us to test your game. Your game needs testing. And you're asking that I pay to test your game. I feel like there's not a difference in a lot of people's eyes, but I feel like there's a difference saying early access is like in the past, we would have just not shown this at this point, but because we know there's probably some demand for it, we'll let you pay for it and you can just kind of like be part of the development process. I don't know, maybe I'm reading too much into it, but like that's kind of the difference to me.
Yeah. So that is there. You want to go against what we just said. But
If you want to make Brandon disappointed, you should
Exactly.
do that.
It doesn't disappoint me. I mean, like I'm sure there are people who love EverQuest, and for those people, this is probably a great. Like, I'm not saying that no one is going to be happy with buying this pack. There are some people who probably know they're going to play the game, and this makes sense, right? They just get to play it earlier. They get some extra items, whatever. But I think it's just disingenuous to say that you like to try and claim you're testing your game when if you really wanted to test your game, you would open it up because that's the only way you find bugs. Like, don't expect these people paying $60 to be the kind of people who are going to find bugs and post them on your forums. They're people that are just interested and are either going to like it and keep playing it, or they're not going to like it and they're just going to disengage. But like the random people who download your game because it's in alpha or beta, those are the people that you need to like find the bugs and help hammer out all the issues you have before release. That's what I think.
there you go. Early access.
Little mini rant for you. I was actually I think this rant was slightly spurred because I actually got an email from SOE. I don't know why I still get SOE marketing emails.
Planet side.
But I get the Planet Side emails, and I got this EverQuest alpha email, and I could not delete it fast enough. I was just like, you've got to be kidding me. Don't even try to contact me with this garbage.
So, moving on to Quakecon, which the dates were announced.
Quakecon.
July 17th through the 20th. Same location.
They're doing it early this year.
As usual. But John Carmack tweeted that he has contacted them about doing the keynote once again. Obviously, he's no longer with id, and he's hoping they will let him. I actually don't see why they wouldn't. It wasn't like some huge horrible thing of him leaving.
Yeah.
Like,
Well,
he's
always done
don't
it.
know about it.
That's a QuakeCon tradition. I feel like QuakeCon is almost its own thing, which is kind of a good thing for id and ZeniMax, that it's like it feels more like an event that's not. I mean, obviously it's tied to them, but like people love QuakeCon that don't even necessarily love ZeniMax, and John Carmack's like a tradition at QuakeCon, even if he's not part of the company anymore.
So I
The
think
fact that he still wants to be a part of that is very beneficial for them too.
Yeah.
I think they'll let
He,
him.
he only helps their brand.
I don't think they'll say no. I couldn't
I hope
see
not.
that happening. But if you want to sign up for that, I believe you can already book rooms and all that stuff. So July 17th through 20th. I don't think there was pricing info in this.
There's not yet
Article,
because
but-
they haven't said anything about the actual packages yet. But you can start booking hotel rooms, which like there's a
You
lot
should
of hotel
do
rooms.
if you want to stay at that hotel there because it's a nice
Yeah.
one.
Yeah, like you should start planning your trip, but the actual tickets will probably go on sale in like a month or two.
Yep. So moving on to a couple quick notes and then the new releases for this week. This first is a game I wanted to bring up that I have not played, but I really kind of want to get and play on one of the Friday streams. It's a game called the Castle Doctrine, which some people in chat may have heard of. So the basic gist of this game is you own a house and your family is in the house, but everyone in your neighborhood, including yourself, is trying to rob each other because you have vaults of money in the house. Okay?
Fuck.
All right.
So you build security systems in your house. You can have attack dogs, you can have, pits that are triggered by. So you essentially build the house like kind of like you would like things in Minecraft. But you
Right.
but it's a top down look. But you have to like craft like switches and you have to get, money to buy all these things. And so what happens is you get your house ready or not. You can take a gamble of not getting your house ready. And I believe it goes online. You can play against a computer, but you can also play against other players. So you can go try to rob their houses and take their stuff. You may end up having to kill their wife and children. Like, legitimately, this is a thing in the game. So you can try to go rob their house, but you have to spend money also to get stuff to bring with you, like drugged meat to throw at attack dogs and like lock picks, things to break windows, things to hack security systems. So it's pretty crazy sounding. It's called the Castle Doctrine, once again. Basically, you build your quote-unquote castle, which is just your house, and you try to defend it. And then you try to break into other people's houses and steal their money so you can get more money to build better systems to defend your house. Also,
On the Bombcast, they were saying you had to put up you put up traps and things, but you had to get out yourself.
Yeah, you have to be able to get out of your house. So
And so like if you screw up, then you just like you've wasted. If you waste yourself, then it's over. You have to restart.
yeah. So, and also the wives in this game, the wives and kids are not fucking totally defenseless. Like the wives will have shotguns and things like that. So, like if
Interesting.
you think you're just gonna go and slaughter everybody and get into some dude's vault, like, so it sounds kind of awesome. Although I don't know if I particularly am a fan of like the building portion because I'm just not a fan of that in Minecraft particularly either. And that is what I've heard the building part be compared to the most is Minecraft because there's a lot of crafting and collecting and things like that. So go check that out if you want to. It just sounds super interesting to me, an idea for a game, especially the fact that it goes online. You can just like... Because what you basically say is, it is nighttime, I'm going to go rob a house. And so then you leave your house, and the only thing defending it then would be the thing that you set up. So, like, you can't control anything. Much like Hearthstone during your opponent's turn, you can't control anything that happens once you leave the house. So if you come back and everything's fucked, like, sorry. That's how it is. So it sounds pretty cool. So you guys might want to check that out. Apparently it's $12. Fatattack just linked in chat. So being developed by like a very small team, I believe. But it just sounds like a cool concept for a game. And this next little note, Duke Nukem 3D, you can now play, which has an extremely fun multiplayer. I bet no one in this chat or here has ever played it, but it is so fun. Duke Nukem 3D now has like Steamworks support for multiplayer, so I think you can like find servers now.
Shit. Okay.
That is awesome.
That game
cool.
is super fun multiplayer. It's just like batshit crazy. Like, you know, if you're looking for some contest of skill, this is not it. But if you're looking to put laser trip bombs everywhere or pipe bombs and then look in security cameras and blow up your friends when they go near a pile of pipe bombs, this is the game for you. I used to play it back on IPX LAN at a college where I grew up, and it was awesome. So that is the thing that occurred. So, all right, new releases for this week, and probably the best one of the week occurs tomorrow on Monday. Aqua Kitty Milk Mine Defender, out tomorrow on Steam.
All right.
I've heard great things from the pre-release.
Yeah, I'm looking it up right now for you guys.
Right on.
Oop, I must AFK.
I'm really looking forward to it just for the name. I'll actually buy that just because of the name, actually.
I think a lot of people will.
But you mine in the milk mines. It looks like a shmup, kind of. Cross with Contra kind of game. So, it's just a dumb name, though. That's really why we... That's really why we threw it on there. No, the real big release, though, Tuesday.
Yes, Wolf
we
Among
talked
Us.
about this, a little bit before the cast actually began. Wolf Among Us Episode 2 coming out. There's strippers. Does that entice you? There's definitely strippers in this episode. No, but yeah, that comes out, so we'll be playing that on KBMOD this week, because we played Episode 1, which ended in a horribly morbid thing, but that comes out Tuesday, so you should definitely get Wolf Among Us if you don't have it, though.
Make me.
You definitely should get it. You will like it.
It's super
Like
good.
the shit out of it.
Thought.
Someone gifted to BLA since he's being a bitch.
Yeah, make me. If I didn't play the first one, we said like I have no idea what to do with this.
So Thursday,
I don't have the patience for adventure.
No, I'm saying
games.
gift you the first one so that you can be caught up
Oh,
because it's worth.
I probably won't play it.
Actually-
It's supposed to be really good.
I actually saw this game on the summer speedrunning thing. Double Dragon Neon, which was an Xbox Live title, is coming to PC on Thursday. Through Steam, it's a new Double Dragon game. They got the naming license and made the game, and then I watched speedrunners just break the fuck out of it. With the devs on a call during Summer Games Done Quick. So that comes out. Little Racer Street, I don't know what the fuck it is, but it comes out too. Jazz Punk comes out Friday, which is a game that I've seen actually a good amount of press about. And then apparently the Lego movie video game comes out Friday, but I think IGN's full of shit, so I don't think that actually comes out. Lego games are always good, but I don't think that actually comes out, so. Alright,
Like
guys.
Myers.
Well, that is it for the news section. We're going to take a quick 2-minute commercial break, and then we shall return with the viewer questions, which there are many. We'll be back in 2 minutes.
I just want that milk game.
Dan, are you alright today? You sound like high.
Do I?
Like all of a sudden you were just like
He had a miniature stroke.
Yeah.
Hey,
Everything smells like almonds. Help.
like, all of a sudden you just fucking went nuts. What the fuck did I do here?
Figure we'll throw that one in there.
Oh god, he got in.
In.
God damn it, KDZen. God damn it.
Ripping pepperonis, mate.
Ripping pepperonis.
This other video of his is almost as good. He has a picture of Kappa up on the monitor next to him.
Solid.
Nick Fenn is asleep on Scott's floor. While the commercial's running, go make some popcorn, fiddle your Dodger, or subscribe to youtube.com.
Fiddle your Todger. All right. There's nothing like knowing your opponent has a flame strike because you mind visioned it on like turn 3.
Which has the
has
better?
overthrown Moobot.
Which has the better Bilbo? World of Warcraft. What's up, Ifrons? Where Domo at? God damn, I don't know. Actually, legitimately don't know where Domo is. I'm a little afraid now. I can see Scott's cat moving, just barely. She's licking her paw. You can tell because her paws are white.
You can't just say that.
can't just say that.
You just call somebody out for having a white paw.
I know a thing or
If you
two.
spend $100 on the Trailblazer pack, you get so much.
Are you still looking at EverQuest next? Fucking.
Yeah.
Fine.
You also and if you if you spend $100, you get 4 shareable closed beta keys, and apparently you get Head Start open beta access.
Thanks God.
So spending $60 or $20, you wait in line like everyone else when it comes time to be open beta.
That's just...
That's the
special.
Trailblazer. Only the Trailblazer pack gets you alpha? Is that what I'm saying? Oh no. The $60
gets you-
goes too. Okay.
Yeah. As a special perk, Trailblazers will get a 48-hour or more head start into open beta, ensuring that they have time to find amazing new claims. Wow.
Mm.
Should you pick up Deus Ex Human Revolution for $5? Yes. It's a good game.
What a game.
Do recommend.
I'm going to assume Big R to the J is a Madden fan looking for a Madden stream.
I have to say, yeah.
If
Sorry,
you wanted
mate.
Madden 25 gameplay, we are the biggest Madden stream by a long margin right now. I almost put Madden 94, which is definitely the best Madden. So,
It's no Tecmo though.
well, it is.
Tecmo Bowl, yeah.
It's no Bo Jackson in Tecmo Bowl. It's
Yeah.
clearly not.
Touchdown Thurman Thomas.
John Madden. All right, we are back. I think. Let me look here. Yes, we're back.
For yourself.
Okay. Viewer questions. At Shrimp Dimension asks, if you could make any person teabag any other person, who would you choose?
Make
No
them.
choosing Lil B's balls due to the powers they bestow. So Lil B is off limits, unfortunately.
So he can't be
Fair
the
enough.
giver, but he can be the taker.
Yeah, you could make someone teabag Lil B. Although why on earth you would do that to the base god? I'm not sure.
I don't think that could even be an answer.
Can't even really be done.
I mean, my answer is going to be Nancy Grace getting teabagged by someone because she is the right answer.
You
all
gotta
the time.
think of a horrible pair of balls.
But
Yeah.
what would be just the
Yeah.
worst?
Larry King.
Just so droopy and gray-haired,
And very, very stern balls.
very stern.
The sternest ball you've ever seen in your life. Just
the most disapproving
dipping
balls.
in and out.
Yeah.
Just that
Just-
I'm...
Just
So-
that image of him, his old balls. Just, I mean, I'm thinking he's like
little...
he's like 5 feet in the air suspended, and his balls are still landing in the
Oh,
mouth
yeah.
because they're so
Yeah.
droopy.
They're wearing
Yeah.
these thick rimmed
Yeah.
glasses.
Yeah, he's wearing the glasses, but that's it. He's not wearing anything
His
else.
balls are also wearing glasses.
And little suspenders. Little
Smoking a
suspenders.
cigarette as they are lowered in. Larry King.
Larry King probably has suspenders for his balls. His talentless Yoda.
Oh fuck.
God.
That is
that-
objectively the right answer to this question.
I'm telling you, anytime.
Nancy Grace being teabagged by Larry King, I think, is
pretty
correct.
good. It's pretty good.
I think is the correct
Yeah,
answer.
I don't know.
I
that
don't
they're-
see any other alternative.
Yeah,
here.
I don't think we can follow that up.
Thinking, but
So, wow. I can't believe we found a right answer to that question so quickly.
yeah, of course. course we did.
At Taylor R. Wilson asks, did Peyton Manning play like shit because he forgot to yell Omaha or because he didn't retweet the podcast?
Oh, probably the podcast.
Yeah.
Though, but the podcast wasn't going during
Well,
the
it's
time.
been going for 126 episodes, and I haven't seen
that's
Peyton
true.
Manning retweet a single one of them.
Yeah, I've been
That's
keeping
a good
track. He hasn't at all. I'm pretty pissed about it, actually.
I'm
I
gonna
don't
go.
know.
Honestly, I'm surprised they even started the Super Bowl without getting everyone
tweeting the podcast.
without having all the players retweet.
That's true.
You
Seems like they
imagine?
really wanted to play that game. So I mean, you had the leverage, NFL.
Can you imagine for the whole 30 seconds after that retweet how many viewers we'd have? And then they would all leave. It would be amazing.
Yeah, true.
All right.
I'm gonna go with the podcast then.
Yeah, I
Definitely.
mean, you gotta go to the podcast. He
I don't know,
obviously yelled Omaha like 7,000 times.
multiple times.
That's what
Omaha was
Peyton
coming
Manning
out of
does.
his mouth as that first failed snap flew past him into his own end zone. So. Omaha! Fuck. That face that he...
And then he got his
watching.
phone out and was like, I should have retweeted.
Yeah,
I
God
should have done it.
It was too late at that point, though.
Peyton's son.
We go back on his Twitter right now and we just see all these old podcasts retweeted. He tried, but it was too late. It was way too late for him.
Notice us Peyton's son. Yeah, just send by Peyton, please.
Oh my God.
Unlimited Strikes asks, if you could patent anything,
Anything.
what would it be? So you could either be a dick about this and patent something just to be a dick, like a patent troll would, or you could be like, I want to make the most money possible.
That's what I'm
off this
saying.
pad.
You just patent something that everyone, like water. I don't know. Anything, right? So anytime anything to do with water is used in any product or at all,
You're
you gotta
patenting
get paid
water?
for it. I mean, he said anything. Right?
That's true.
Air? I
I
don't
would
know.
patent. Yes, I was just gonna say I would patent.
Yeah. I guess maybe we should
probably-
narrow this down to product. Like we should maybe
I'd
okay. So
probably
the
patent
man-made things.
a drug, like drug patents. You'd be so
Yeah.
incredibly rich.
I would patent the caramel macchiato. That's what I would patent. Solid Starbucks drink that a lot of people order.
Major pain patent, general patent. I mean, I like the wordplay, but I think that's a horrible choice. General patent. So what? I don't know what that would
I
mean.
don't know that you're going to get many valuable licensing agreements from that.
Patenting toilet paper is a good call.
Yeah.
If you could find a way so that whenever anyone uses it to wipe their ass, you get a cut.
That's true.
I think
Oh, man.
End of play.
Oh my God.
you patent the way that it rips into squares, and you get a royalty on every
Yeah.
toilet paper roll sold.
True.
Not bad. Not bad. Pat. Wait. I'm looking in chat here.
There was a
Patent farting, not a bad call.
sure. Yeah.
That would probably be a hard royalty to enforce.
Military channel pill pay me in bitcoins for my general patent.
And
Actually, this does come off the heels. Someone just reminded me of the Candy Crush patenting the word candy.
Yeah, seriously. They
What
are all
attempts
in
it.
on that shit.
Patenting
To be
fried
fair,
chicken.
that's a trademark dispute.
Ooh,
All you
that's
lawyers in chat.
That's a good call, St. Jimmy. Patent ceiling sprinklers. Fucking everywhere has to
That
have
is
those.
Patent
see,
ceilings.
see, he's thinking.
Patent ceilings.
You have to think of something that's really mundane that is
Yeah.
everywhere, and just like when you stop and think about someone that actually had to make that for the first time and the way it works, and that person and their children and their children's children
Yep.
and their fifth generation down will never work again.
So
True.
I'm gonna go with the method by which tissues are rolled up so that you only get one at a time when you pull them out of a tissue box.
Yeah, that's got to be a
There you
patent
go.
somebody has
Yeah,
somewhere.
I'm sure.
Yeah.
I'm going with that.
I think I think that's just because aren't they perforated when they're put in the box and then
Patented perforation. Done.
or
Done.
something like they have.
No,
like
it's
a,
like if you open up a tissue box, they're in
Yeah.
like the square tissue boxes, not the
Right.
longer rectangular ones. They're in like a roll, and they're kind of like all interconnected.
But don't they already?
You pull one out.
Oh, okay, yeah, but
they're not
have,
perforated really.
Oh,
they're
not
like
at all. Okay,
it's.
Then you're
It's
right.
like
I'm
weird,
sure the
yeah.
same person probably owns the perforation on like on like cleaning wipes and things, where it's just a plastic perforated thing, so you get one at a time.
Yeah.
You think like the first time they invented that they were just like, yes, like they just freaked the fuck out because they were like, I'm set for the rest of my life. I've just invented this fucking tissue patent. I don't know.
Depends how old it was. Like
That's
what were
true.
patents worth,
Yeah.
100 years ago.
I'm
Nobody
pretty
really
sure
knows.
until recently when there were different kind of toilets that you could get, and by recently I mean like the last 20 years, there's like been patents on like parts of the toilet, and those dudes are obviously, because those have been the same parts since there were toilets. Like they haven't changed. Like the
I really want to get a
mechanism and
duvet
stuff.
or what's the one washes
Bidet?
your ass?
Bidet.
whatever it's-
Bidet.
Today,
A duvet is a blanket you put on your bed. You don't
Oh, I
want to
want
wipe your
that
ass
too.
with that.
I need that
can,
too.
but
A duvet. I want to shit on my duvet on my bed. I want to shit on my bed, guys. Is there anything wrong with that? I think so.
I'm gonna get
But,
a blanket that's also a tarp,
bidet,
so I
yeah.
can shit on it.
I used one of those once, and it was so pleasant. And I was like, when I get rich, I'm gonna have all these in every room of my house.
Great American
patent-
Challenge.
My
Patent
mother has a
coffins.
bidet at her house. It is nice.
Yeah, that's they're fun.
Patent sperm. Patent
Can you just-
gravity.
can we just like patent something really mean spirited? Like, I have no reason to patent this, but if I wanted to patent like the experience of letting a fart go at work and shitting in your pants just a little bit, and then you have to pay me 5 cents. So like, not only did that just happen and it sucks because no one likes it when that happens to them.
They have to
But
pay
on top
money.
of that, you're now out. So you have to go through the bother of writing me a fucking check for 5 cents
Jesus
and mailing
Christ.
it.
And in the memo line-
the stamp that you send that check on will cost more than the check that you have to send me. But like, just to be a dick,
Yeah, that
just
really.
to be a dick, I'm just like, well, you shat in your pants a little bit. Nobody noticed, but you had to go to the bathroom to wipe your ass after that fart, and now you owe me 5 cents. So
Patent pastorinos. Pastorinos. Patent pastorinos. Patent
There's
well
no
mets.
patent pastorinos.
Patent peeing with an erection. That's a good one.
yeah. That's
I just
solid.
got real meta. Patent the patent process.
You could. I'd owe Blah a lot of money.
Jesus. God. I don't shart that much. I don't know. Maybe I'm just lucky.
But you know who would owe me a lot of money is Sage Spartan.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
I
wings.
know.
Probably
Pants,
wings
like-
as well.
Oh, wings. Oh, God. Yeah.
So this next question
$2 million.
is from Aaron0415. If you play with a person, would they be? I don't
you
think that's what he meant
play-
to type, but
Oh,
Well,
you
If they were
Yeah.
a person, would they
Would they be? Would they exist? Maybe.
Damn, that's fucking deep.
God, that's
That
real.
is fucking deep. If you play was a person, would like so can a horrible fucking DRM software abortion, if brought into the realm of reality, into physical form, does that mean it's a person? Or do we?
If I'm understanding the question right, I mean the answer is yes, because we're saying
They
we're
would
suspending
be.
disbelief for a moment.
Oh, are
and
we?
saying hypothetically, if Uplay was a person. So we've established that they're a person. Are they then being?
Yeah, are they in a state of being?
I
Yeah.
guess.
they
Descartes
exist,
up in
yes.
here.
I Uplay, therefore I am.
I cannot connect to multiplayer, therefore I am.
I am not.
I am not, yeah.
Oh my god.
Never have I had a worse experience than trying to play Trials with Mark through Uplay.
You play.
Yeah, it's bad.
Oh my god. It
So
is
you
shit.
playing
It's great for single
Live.
players. No complaints there.
But I did earn a wallpaper through my time in Far Cry 3. Thanks, Uplay.
Like,
I love Legend coming in, even though we obviously know what he meant. He's like, I meant who would they be?
he's so
Sorry, but you have to if you have watched the podcast long
If you
enough,
fuck up,
know
we're
that
gonna
we
make
answer
fun of you.
these- yeah, we answer these literally as they are written. We do not We do not do your
Listen,
job.
we don't want to infer what you mean based on like some potential meaning, because that's a slippery slope.
It's not up to us. Come on, man.
It is a slippery slope. Yeah. Before you know it, we're putting all kinds of words in your mouth that you never meant to say, and that's you know.
Is APL browsing Argon Wild? I don't know. I can't tell.
No, actually, but I am going to now that you mentioned it. I haven't checked today.
Yeah. APL call up Degrassi Tyson. We'll ask him. Oh God.
Degrassi, fuck you.
Wait. No, this is a great Uplay story in chat. I got instant banned for trying to activate a game I just bought.
And they don't have support, so you're fucked.
Yeah.
Okay. This next question is from one of the better Twitter handles that I've come across in doing this podcast. At Mr. Go Fuck Yourself asks, what's the best milkshake you've ever had?
Yo, are you fucking kidding me? Oh my god, so easy. Burgatory.
Yeah.
I would agree with Burgatory.
The Fluffer Nutter Burgatory milkshake was a peanut butter and vanilla milkshake with fucking Nutter Butters inside of it, garnished with a Nutter Butter. It was heavenly, and marshmallow fluff. It was heavenly. There's no other way to put it. It was of heaven. It was from heaven.
Yeah, Burgatory does it right.
It was insane.
And you came.
I came everywhere.
Yes.
It was revolting how much I came.
I was disgusted with the amount.
You know it's bad when you're normally impressed by that amount of semen.
Yeah, I would have been
so much
proud
that you were revolted.
Well, I was also eating, so
I think when we blew up the inflatable raft and you handed me the to row out, it was a little too much time. It was just fucking
sail the seas of blah.
Paddle your way out of this. You just had this milkshake. For me, Burgatory milkshake is good. There's this place called 50's Cafe near me that does a peanut butter milkshake with like Reese cups in it. That's fucking legendary. I didn't get to take Dan last time he was here, but next time we'll go.
Brandon has a tweet documenting the best milkshake he's ever had.
He just went down and found that.
I cannot.
Wow. Where's this from?
It's an airport.
That is it's in the airport, but it's from a place called Papa's Brothers, Papa's Burgers.
I can't
the
believe
strawberry banana variety and the chocolate banana variety are both quite excellent.
Someone in the chat, do we have to retweet that, Brandon?
Yes. You may as well now.
You might as well not incur his wrath. Just do it. Be good.
Just to be safe, you probably should. Yeah.
Well, that's back from the consulting days, Brandon. You're wearing dress pants and dress shoes. That suck.
Yeah.
I think the best one I ever had was from a place called the Blue Cow, which is out in the middle of nowhere in Pennsylvania, like kind of in western PA, but sort of northeast western PA. And it is in the middle of nowhere, but they make everything from scratch right when you order it. So the line's always huge because it takes forever. But nothing fancy about them, like Burgatories are all kind of crazy. But their peanut butter milkshake at the Blue Cow. I love peanut butter milkshakes.
Me too.
I just love peanut butter.
Yeah, peanut butter generally. I had last night. My friend had dinner for his birthday at some fancy ass place, and I ordered. I saw something called a peanut butter bomb on the dessert menu. I didn't even read what it was before I ordered it. All I saw was it called a peanut butter bomb. It was like a peanut butter mousse covered in a chocolate shell with some chopped nuts on top, and just with that chocolate drizzle all on the plate and shit, and a little strawberry at the end there, motherfucker. It was like it was fancy dessert in Reese. It was Reese's in fancy dessert form. It was so good.
Oh man,
that would be good.
I was dead. Rippy dippy.
Wow. Peanut butter makes oral 100 times better. What? What? It's pretty good anyway. Okay. All right.
Fair enough.
Well,
I have never had peanut butter. Timeout.
My son will not eat peanut butter at all. He will not eat it. He
He
refuses.
refuses? Oh, okay.
Really?
He just tried it. He says he doesn't like it, but he says he doesn't like a lot of different foods. So I don't
he'll
believe
grow
him.
out of that phase. Don't worry about it.
I'm like, you are no son of mine. Okay, so it's a KDZen question time.
Oh God, here we go.
Let me steel myself mentally to try to read this.
Perhaps the most exemplary example of we read and answer tweets as they're written.
Yes, and no one is better at it than the master, KDZen.
Oh, this is so good.
How to play lick Seattle Toucan Sam's Foosbeel score 42-0 against Denser Bongos Super Ball 30, what is that? 40, I don't even know what that is. For Lil B basketball lay game.
Little B parentheses basketball.
Little basketball.
I think my favorite part is Denser Bongos.
I also like how he
Super
breaks
Bowl.
the Super Bowl and he calls the Seattle Toucans.
The Denser Bongos.
Sam's.
Denser bug.
This is the thing about KDZen though. Like other people have tried to do this
Can't
and
do it
not.
like him.
No, we just don't even choose them because they're not as good. He like has a method. I think.
He totally does. We talk about this every time, but it's like it's never over. I mean, it's over the top, but it's just always enough. It's never
Yeah.
It can be like there's over the top, and then there's Seattle Toucan Sam's versus Denser Bongos over the top.
See, there could have been. See here, a bad example, a bad way to do this would be the JCPenney tweets from today.
right.
That
Yes,
were
exactly.
That's a bad
That's
way
actually
to do
a great example.
Yeah,
Yep.
that's a bad way to do
Like
it.
if you're trying to manufacture it, it's not good.
Sea loops. Denser bongos. Lil B basketball.
Lil B basketball is probably my favorite part of this.
God damn it. This man needs a Nobel Prize. KDZen is the Edward Snowden of Twitter questions.
He's
Parse-
slowly
that.
disseminating Twitter questions to
leaking
news
these.
organizations.
Parse that mentally how you will.
He's taking
These are-
asylum in Russia.
He's leaking these. These are U.S. government questions, and he's leaking them to us.
Dude, St. Jimmy,
guess.
St. Jimmy with a good comparison of KDZen versus other tweets. It's RoboCop, but it's not RoboCop 3. That's a really good way to put it. RoboCop has value as a shit action movie. RoboCop 3 is just off the rails in all the wrong ways.
What if RoboCop though? Oof.
Plot twist, yeah. KDZen writes for JCPenney too. Saves his best shit for the podcast. Oh.
He's a Twitter consultant.
All right, last question, and we had this about 30 times tonight because it's probably one of the best questions you could ever ask. And I quote Bob Dylan, "What is more American than America?"
God, fuck that. God.
Not a whole lot, Bob.
I mean, I don't
Not
really know
much.
even how to respond to that. 'cause it's
KDZen,
so
maybe?
fucking stupid.
I linked the Great American Challenge in context to this, and that's pretty
yeah,
fucking
that's really
American.
I did like that.
That's a very
As
good
Americans, we like to go big.
Challenges are American. We do enjoy
Yeah.
challenges.
Yeah,
That's true.
we like to go big, and that certainly does.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it goes big.
Supersized, yeah.
Yeah. KDZen, top tier American. He's probably not even
Oh, yeah.
American.
No idea.
Yeah, I don't know. Bob Dylan doesn't fucking know. As Scott said,
What-
somebody should have.
What absolutely
Bob Dylan,
baffled
bitch.
me, yeah, is that no one was like, Bob, we need another take. Bob, you can't say that. We can't use it. I don't care how fucking like how regal you sound saying that in your grisly voice. Like it's fucking stupid, and we're gonna record it again. And he's like, no, one take. That's it. Bob Dylan.
Teen pregnancy is pretty American.
Oh, yeah.
That's
We love our
We even
teen
made
pregnancy.
a show out of it, and then
Yeah.
we made a porno out of that.
that is really American. You're right. You're right.
God damn it.
God.
All right. Well, that is it for episode 127. We ended far, far from where we began, but we're here. You can find all our links below the stream, but twitter.com/KBMODgaming, facebook.com/KBMOD, youtube.com/KBMODgaming, and of course here on Twitch, twitch.tv/KBMOD. Please give us a follow here on Twitch. We're heading up towards 10K. We'll get there here. At
10K, Nick Fenton might be on a podcast. Not sure though.
Maybe he's passed out on Scott's floor right now.
Yeah, I wouldn't bank on it too hard.
But that is it for this episode. Maybe we'll have Sark on soon. That'd be cool.
Yes, I will talk. You just need to remind me.
I will. That's it, guys, and I will see you for the normal streams all this week. Later, bros.
Later.
Peace.